Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I'm your host Mike. Today guys, I want to draw your attention to a Western that I just watched the other night. And this was, I think, the second or third time I watched it. And I don't know why it took me so long to make these comparisons. But I really enjoyed the movie. And it made me think of comparing it to another movie made 2 years later that was very similar in lots of ways, but not similar. So, without further ado, let's get right to the movie. This is a movie that I watched this is on Warner Archive DVD release. I don't believe it's on Blu-ray yet, but I will get it. I will get it if it comes out on a restored Blu-ray, because this movie is really good, guys. Very underrated. More underrated than I even thought. But this was a movie actually I heard of years and years ago before I ever saw it. It's directed by Fritz Lang. This came out in 1952. Screenplay by Daniel Teradash. The movie I'm talking about is Rancho Notorious. Rancho Notorious, guys. Really interesting movie. Before I talk about the movie that I've thought of a lot, comparison to, just think about it for a minute, okay? Rancho Notorious, directed by Fritz Lang, starring Marlene Dietrich, perfectly cast, I think. This is one of those movies that was kind of like, what the heck? It has a campiness to it. Very cult, has a cult status, I think. A very underrated movie. Great Western by all means. But yeah, Rancho Notorious. It also has Arthur Kennedy. Really good role for Arthur Kennedy. Unsung, underrated actor, really good in westerns. He teamed up with around the same time doing movies with Anthony Mann and Jimmy Stewart, like Bend of the River and stuff. It's got Mel Ferrer. I always mess his name up. Like Jose Ferrer, Mel Ferreira. Messed his name up. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's got some. Who else is in this? It's got a cast. It's got a lot of like. What do you call it? Supporting cast that it's like all kinds of people. But the movie guide said this about the movie: a bizarre, strangely poetic, and highly personal ballad of a man transformed by revenge. Perfectly said. Basically, Arthur Kennedy. Is this guy? This all happens one day, which will send him on a streak of revenge that won't stop for years. But his girlfriend, fiance, gets murdered by a botched bank robbery, and from that point on, he's tracking down these men, which lead to another group of men, which lead to something else. And there's a big secret. There's a secret, like a secret bar, a secret gambling spot for criminals. It's called the Chuck-a-Luck, which is kind of funny in a way. And it's a place run by Marlene Dietrich. But this is kind of an infamous place. It's only spoke of in whispers, and a lot of seedy characters hide out there. It's run by this gang of criminals. I mean, this has a lot to do with another movie, it looks like, in a lot of ways. He basically joins this gang to kind of get into this place, because this will lead him to the killer or killers of his fiance. So he or was it his wife? It was his wife or fiance. Anyways, so a lot of action scenes, a lot of great film scenes. It's a solid Western. on its own. Marlene Dietrich is really good as always. Well directed, beautiful Technicolor. So yeah, colored by Technicolor. So this was 1952. So in 1954, I mean, you've heard me talk about this movie many times. This is one of my favorite westerns also. Now this movie's directed by Nicholas Ray, starring Joan Crawford, with Sterling Hayden as kind of the Arthur Kennedy in this role. The movie I'm talking about is Johnny Guitar. Now there's two comparisons to this movie. Now this was made 2 years later. It's based on a novel by Roy Chancellor, screenplay by Philip Yordan. So different screenwriters, based on a novel all itself, but a lot of similarities. I mean, just in the camp factor, the Technicolor factor, directed by two great directors, starring two great actresses. You know, you got got good leading men and stuff. But I think a lot of times nowadays, Johnny Guitar gets more of the praise in that. But I think, man, Rancho Notorious just is so similar in a way. I mean, I'm not talking about they're like the same, but they have similar stories, you know. And, you know, with Johnny Guitar, they got, you know, Marlene Dietrich, or Joan Crawford's running a hideout with this gang and stuff, but it's kind of in the town and people know about it, or it's somewhat known that the gang hangs out there and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are two different movies. Johnny Guitar is probably going to be the winner, hands down, with just so many the supporting cast alone just really makes this movie what it is in a lot of ways. But two similar movies, they're both kind of campy in a way, because you got the female lead, which is the female, kind of the bad girl, has a history. Now she's, you know, has money, and's got this, you know, more or less running a gang of outlaws, running this, you know, place, this, you know, bar, this saloon type of place. You got the, you know, the bad guy that's got eyes for her. Then you got the hero, you know, being Sterling Hayden and Johnny Guitar, and then Arthur Kennedy in Rancho Notorious. So there's some similarities and stuff. So I just wonder how much Nicholas Ray and Philip Yordan and everything was aware of the similar story of Rancho Notorious beforehand, because there was 2 years had gone by and everything with the two movies and stuff. This released through Paramount, and Rancho Notorious was an independent movie. Essentially, well, Republic would basically release Johnny Guitar, and I think this one was a RKO movie. So this is RKO, and you got two of the smaller studios at the time. Two great westerns, guys. Both of these need to be in your collection if you're just a budding Western collector and fan out there. Definitely get a hold of these. I mean, to sum up my comparisons, I mean, I don't know what to say really, because it's they're just very similar. I'll just leave it at that. They're just very similar. I don't think there's any like something was copied or somebody did something. I think it's purely by chance. I mean maybe Johnny Guitar was they looked at this and kind of like maybe they built on some of it. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I'm curious about that. You know, I'd like to know one day, you know. But anyways, Rancho Notorious, really good movie. Highly, highly underrated, guys. I mean, I know I say that a lot on my channel with movies and stuff, but really this movie is underrated. I mean, it's got the big name of Fritz Lang behind the director's chair. You got Marlene Dietrich starring. Great supporting cast. Great starring role for Arthur Kennedy. So it's got a lot going for it. I can't wait for a Blu-ray to come out of this. This would probably be a great Criterion release, and maybe have some backstories and a good commentary about it. I think would really maybe sum up my thoughts on it. A good commentary and everything. Since we got a good one from Eureka for Johnny Guitar, so maybe Criterion will put this out. That would be really interesting. So I just wanted to get those two. So again, it's a double recommendation. Johnny Guitar, but Rancho Notorious, probably a movie you never heard of. And I briefly heard of it over the years as a film fan and stuff, and I finally saw it on, I think, TCM years ago, and I bought this back when I did my Fritz Lang episodes, when I was collecting some Fritz Lang that I didn't have, and I got this and everything. But rewatching it, I was really entertained. I saw a lot of the similarities, but still very entertained. Everything. So they're both equal in my book. They're both really good in that way. I mean, maybe not completely equal. I mean, Johnny Guitar kind of takes it up a level with just its legendariness. But great. Go out there and get this. I think you guys will enjoy it, especially if you like Johnny Guitar. So I've said that a few times now. So there you go, guys. So in the comments, let me know, what do you know about these two movies? Do you think there's any, like, is there a connection that we don't know about that's connecting these two movies? If not, let me know how much you like these guys. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Like I said, I got a lot of Western stuff on my channel. Check it out if you like Westerns. And that's about it, guys. So I hope that gives you a fun-filled evening of entertainment. And as always, guys, take it easy out there. Watch a good movie. And I will see you again back here at this channel, Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays.